r/credit. What's the dumbest thing you've ever done while high? In the middle of a board game, I stood up to get another beer, a few feet from the game table, but had to remove the gallon of milk from the fridge to get the beer. I picked up the jug and matched eyes with an on-high friend of mine. For some reason thought I'd make him laugh by pretending to pour the milk on my head. The cap was not on the jug properly. My friend watcher stoned me took a gallon of milk and poured it on my head. Everyone was just as confused as I was, as there was no rhyme or reason for any of it. My explanation for why it happened wasn't very valid. I love picturing you just mad dogging this guy as you pour a gallon of milk on your head. Stood in an elevator for about 5 minutes before realizing that no one pressed any buttons. Similar story, we were playing this game where you play catch with an invisible ball. You do some goofy throwing and catching motions to make it more interesting. You snap when you were releasing and catching the ball. We are playing this game with 4 or 5 of us in an elevator for 10 minutes before we realized nobody had pushed the button. I was in my car hotboxing alone at like 2 AM in a wooded parking area. All of a sudden I thought a crazy person was vigorously shaking my car for 5 seconds. Got out and no one was around. I was seriously questioning my sanity at that point. Didn't realize until I saw the news next morning that there was a 5.0 earthquake overnight and that I didn't smoke laced bath salts. This happened to me once, in fucking Indiana of all places. I was sitting on the edge of my bed at 5 AM and then was inexplicably sitting on the floor. It felt like I had been shoved off the bed. I spent the entire morning convinced there was a ghost, or that I was a ghost. I was satisfying my munches at the local Popeyes, and everything was going fine up until I finished my order. At this point I looked the cashier straight in the eye and in a very serious tone asked him, "Is this for here or to go?" We stared at each other for a couple of seconds, then I just nodded my head and said here, then walked away. Didn't realize what I had done until my friend told me. Edit. Wow, thank you so much to whoever gilded me. This is a big moment for me, and whoever you are, I love you. Tried to open the door to my house with my car keys and became terrified when that wasn't working out for me. I walked into a fast food place, made a huge order. I got all my food and drink, sat my food on a table, and went to use the bathroom. Then I walked out and went home and didn't realize what I did for at least 2 hours. Why am I still so hungry? I just bought food. Oh shit. I was supposed to eat the food. Using my phone as a light to look for my phone. This one time, I wasn't even high. I thought I lost my phone. Turns out I was just talking on it, and that's why it wasn't in my pocket. I've lost my keys while I was driving somewhere. I've never smoked pot in my life. Saw a huge spider on the wall and decided the best way to kill it was with a straight leg lunge. I put a gigantic hole in the wall and I have no idea what happened to the spider. How horrifying would it be if thousands of other spiders came out of that hole? Freshman year of college I was working part-time at mall store making custom iron pressed shirts. This store was usually slow after 9 PM and it's just me, another employee, and the assistant manager. We're all cool with each other and have smoked outside of work before. Assistant manager thinks it would be funny if we got high during the last hour in the store. We agree, and the game plan was 2 people smoke in the storage room and 1 watches the store. Me and assistant manager go back in the storage room and smoke a bowl. Then I tell her I'll watch the floor while our other associate joins her for the next bowl. I'm out on the floor, already high and with red eyes just chilling. Young couple walks in. Shit, they're just browsing. And of course they decide they want to customize 2 shirts. They're new lights and 1 shirts that say just married. I'm focused at this point. I got this and start working on the shirts. Remember, those iron press machines are hot and I have to place each vinyl letter one by one and ensure it's straightened and everything while I'm stoned. Shirt 1, done and looks good. Shirt 2, no problem, looks great. They love it. I'm all sweaty not but stoked. My fellow associates are still in the back smoking, so I'm solo during this whole mission. Anyway, shirts are done, so I go to ring them up. Guy wants to pay with a credit card. Don't have to count change. Yes. He hands me his Visa. I ask for his ID. All is good, and I hand it back to him. I go to the credit card machine and of course I hit a roadblock. His card isn't swiping. I try swiping it 3 or 4 times. Nothing. So now I may have to punch in the 16 digits manually. Before I do though, I ask him if he has another credit card, since this one isn't swiping. With a wide-eyed face he just stares at me and says, "You've been swiping my driver's license." I went to an all-you-can-eat buffet and stacked up an entire plate of corn chips. In the corner of my eye I spotted an employee following me around. I got really paranoid and starting walking faster to try lose him, but didn't want to turn around and look at him, because then he would know I knew he was following me around. I must have done 3 or 4 laps of the entire buffet with this dude right behind me. I eventually worked up the courage to turn around, only to realize that I was slowly dropping corn chips all over the floor everywhere that I walked. The guy was following me with a dustbin and broom and cleaning up my mess. I have no idea why he didn't just tell me to stop. Felt like a proper dickhead. Good damn it, I love this thread. My friend and I thought we invented cold hot chocolate and we were super amazed at our invention and thought we were culinary geniuses. We excitedly told her sister, who just said so. Chocolate milk? I don't smoke, but I witnessed my brother try to pass the joint to the dog, and when he obviously didn't take it, he said, "Maximum, it's your turn." I was dying. Tried to be inconspicuous by putting on sunglasses and tiptoeing past someone's dorm room because we forgot to invite him over to smoke. His door was open and he was facing the hallway. The first time I ever smoked bro, I got stupid high. I had skipped Wednesday night church youth group to smoke with a random classmate's edgy elder sister. I got home and had never dealt with being stoned around a parent. So I found my sunglasses and walked inside literally singing "I wear my sunglasses at night," like somehow pointing it out would make me less conspicuous. Then I ate a full plate of what my mom made for dinner, followed by a sandwich and then a huge bowl of ice cream. My mom never brought it up though. First time I was really stoned in front of my mom, I was drinking milk out the cartoon when she snuck up on me. I didn't want her to see my eyes, so I kept drinking the milk, but she kept standing there, so I chugged a gallon of milk in front of her and walked out to my room with the empty jug still at my lips. Edit, this comment branch follows Zipf's law. I hadn't realized everyone left the room while I was talking, and I sat there for at least an hour smoking and looking at my phone, having no idea that I was all by myself. Apparently I was so zoned out that they left without me and came back with food and everything. At least an hour went by. At least they brought back food. My best friend and I had smoked upstairs in my old house and went downstairs for some snacks. We are trying to act normal with my parents in the other room. I washed an apple, she buttered an English muffin. We are eating in the kitchen when she freaks out and says, "Oh my god, I forgot to wash my muffin." We were both alarmed for a second and then realized you don't wash muffins and fell to the floor laughing. That's probably not the dumbest thing we've done while high, but it was my favorite thing she said while high. We wrote it down so we wouldn't forget. I keep that note in my purse in case of a bad day. LSD. At a friend's house, going from his living room to his bedroom in the dark. I'd been there 100 times before. It was just 190-degree turn to the left to end up in front of his door. I got lost going around that corner. That felt more like a never-ending spiral for what we later estimated was 45 minutes. I was starving and remembered that I had pizza rolls. I put them in the microwave and watched the timer go down 1:30 seconds. When I opened the microwave it was empty. I stood there like I just witnessed a glitch in the Matrix until I realized I never put the plate in the microwave and they were still sitting frozen. In high school, I left a note for my parents when they got home telling them I'd be at a friend's house for the night. The note was a page long. I hope they saved it. To the parent it may concern. Applied Burt's Bees lip balm to my eyelids because I thought the cooling sensation would make my eyes appear less red. Big mistake. Bro, it's called Beezin around here and it gets you high as fuck. I went blind. I was in the early days of smoking. Probably 15-ish. Buddy's apartment, myself, brother and a guy who'd been smoking much longer than us. I'm being introduced to hot knives. They load up a big one for me, serve it and I take the whole thing. As I exhale I step back and it all hits me in a rush. I'm immediately annihilated and I can't see. I'm freaking the fuck out. In my head I have a panic dialogue. You're blind. You're fucking blind. You smoked yourself blind. Holy fuck. This is it. Your life is ruined. Holy fuck. What the fuck? What the fuck? Meanwhile, outside of my head, my brother is saying hey, hey, hey Dumbus. Turn the lights back on. I leaned against the light switch. I've never been so relieved. You've been visited by the High Chihuahua. Please like and subscribe for a good high. Thank you and happy 420.